It's September already, and because this is Germany, that means it's nearly time for the Oktoberfest. That time of year when tourists from all over the world come to Munich to fight over the last remaining hotel rooms and spend all their money on expensive beer. This explains why the local stores are selling lederhosen and dirndls, although to be perfectly honest, they're not entirely authentic. But that's not the subject of this video. When people talk about the Oktoberfest, they usually mean the big famous Munich Oktoberfest, the largest folk festival in the world. In fact, in many areas of Germany, you'll find Oktoberfests all over the place, ranging from big crowded events to tiny little village festivals. The Munich Oktoberfest, though, is the original and began in 1810 as a party to celebrate the wedding of Crown Prince Ludwig to Princess Theresa. But the idea of drinking lots of beer at this time of year is much older. We can trace it back to the year 1539 and Albert V, Duke of Bavaria. He made it illegal to brew beer during the summer months. Why? Well, because the beer that was popular at the time was brewed in such a way that if it got too warm, there was an actual risk of fire. It was legal to brew beer up until St. George's Day, the 23rd of April. So during the month of March, they started brewing a special beer with a slightly higher alcohol content so that it would keep for longer. This they called Märzen, from März, the German for March. The beer could be kept cool in underground rock caverns. Additionally, they sometimes also planted chestnut trees to give a little bit of extra shade. Chestnut trees have flat roots, so they're not going to go down through the ceiling and into the caverns. This kept them going through the summer, and because Märzen was the beer that kept the longest, it was the last to be drunk. The beer brewing season began again on St. Michael's Day, the 29th of September. And so, the last of the Märzen was drunk to make way for the next batch. The beer served at the modern Munich Oktoberfest is no longer actual Märzen, but it does have a slightly higher alcohol content than normal beer, so be careful. And if you're wondering why it's called Oktoberfest when it's mostly in September, that's because originally it was in October, but it can get a bit chilly at that time of year in Germany. So in 1872 it was brought forward slightly, but it kept its name. However, the locals simply refer to it as wies'n. If you want to know when the Oktoberfest is, the Munich Oktoberfest always begins on the Saturday after the 15th of September. It normally continues until the first Sunday in October, but if this is either the 1st or the 2nd of October, then the festival is extended and ends on the 3rd of October, which is a public holiday in Germany.